A lot of people complained when they saw this, but I'm one of the few people who do not feel like I'm complaining. I actually feel like this is awesome because this is giving hope. But the reason why people complain is because this is just gonna make Deku more OP, and I say, who the F cares? As long as he's more OP than Bakugo. Bakugo is trash. He's not meant to be the OP one. Okay, it's okay if the female ones also get more, but I feel like this makes perfect sense. Because again, one for all is the one quirk that can stop evil. So you have to take this with a little grain of salt. This is the Angry Anime Fan, and this is Boku no Hero Academia chapter 2130. Unfortunately, we do not find out who the bald user is, which is my one complaint about this chapter. Come on, you can at least tell us the name of the one who can do it. Because he screams to Deku as long as he can accomplish anything. Deku do not have the mouth, therefore he cannot speak, but well, the bald user seems to understand that. So he explains he can only be here for a short amount of time, but he explains what is going on in a little bit. Luckily, this wasn't all for one affecting one for all. It still doesn't explain why he can hear the voice of his younger brother. It's not known if that is delusion talking or if he really does have a psychic link to one for all. Because again, that just shouts despair. So as before his time goes out, he explains that the power that Deku released was his quirk. Yes, as we all know, All Might was quirkless, just as Deku. However, it's been revealed before that a lot of the other users were not quirkless. In fact, even Nana Shimura had a quirk before she gained All for One. And apparently it was a lot of people have guessed and is now confirmed that their quirks, that along with the verses that have mixed into the core of All for One, their original quirks that has been mixed with All for One is with them, meaning basically that that all the previous quirks of those users of All for One is still inside One for All as well because of the fact that they was alongside the users. He explains it like it's a small core, a dot that is flickering in fire of undealing flames, and that's their power has been cultivated there, and that core is now starting to swell. Uh, and Deku is indeed sensing that All for One is growing. And before, Deku began to feel something like grab him or capture him because fought Moma, as he reveals that his quirk is Black Whip. However, it is a great quirk because, well, it allows him to create black whips that probably can grab. However, it's worth noting that when Deku used it, it was immensely more powerful. And the bold user explains that because it has been accumulated by the power of One for All, its power is now greater and more unstable than ever. So it's, even though it is a great quirk, it is not a quirk you can just use like that. And I know a lot of people say, oh, that just means it's OP, but if you think about it, while Black Whip looked like an amazing quirk, it doesn't really seem like that destructive. It seems that it can grab a lot of things. It makes sense though that why the bold user will become a one for all user then. That quirk wouldn't really be well for heroism, but with the power of one for all, oh my god. So before he disappears again, he explains that he's feeling light all of a sudden. Because yes, all of these users live inside the heart of Deku. But according to him, another reason why the Black Whip can also be dangerous is because it activates, it resonates with his emotion, meaning that now Deku not only has to become stronger by learning to control All for One, he has to control his emotions. Think about that. That is not only OP but also very dangerous. Deku has been a little guy that has been a little bit expressive. Even though Baku was a lot more angry and expressful, Deku has a lot of tranquility within him and lot of insecurity. For him to, uh, The fact that the black whip can resonate to his heart just shows that now Deku has to control his emotions, not just his body, if he wants to control One for All. But the ball user says though that anger is the source of power, meaning probably that this bold user has been hurt by All for One a lot before, so he was a man who was noted to be angry. But he also says that he needs to be extra vigilant and maintain cover. With 8 people, as he confirms that 8 people have been residing within All for One, uh, he also reveals that there are 6 quirks to discover. Now let's see. That probably means that Toshinori, All Might and the first user, they were the only, except Deku, the only known guy without any quirk. Probably implying that the other 6 quirks other users had quirks as well. So before he completely disappears, he says, "Take control of your heart and master using our power. Good luck, boy. We are with you." And that is what he means by they are not alone. So with that, Deku awakens, and while he feels a little bit lightheaded, Momo takes that opportunity to attack, but luckily Ushako tries to attack as well, but then get interrupted by the poltergeist, who now together with everyone else. So yeah, the brawl hasn't stopped yet, despite everything that has happened. So everyone is now on the battlefield, and now it's gonna be a slugfest again. As Deku still wonders about anger, he grabs onto the rope of Shinso as the fight begins. The teachers have entered the field but haven't stopped the fight yet, because he actually, let's see, it says that they have, let's see what happens. All Might is of course worried about happening, but we saw what is happening. That although Shinso has taken off his mask and does a smile thing, the fighting will now start again. Now I actually want Class A to win because of the fact that Mimon attacked like that. That was so very unheroic, but he was a pretty anti-heroic guy. So Deku does blame himself a little bit for hurting Ochako, but it wasn't that he hurt Ochako. Ochako risked her life to help Deku. So, well, now there is a battlefield again, and they all have to fight for well. Uchako will probably deal with Momona while Deku tries to deal with Shinso, while the rest, it appears that Ashido is gonna deal with the other 2 guys, while Mineta will probably deal with one of them else as well. Well, that's basically it. I find the suspense very great here, because again, new quirks. People are complaining that this is just gonna make Deku more OP, but I'm saying he has to become more OP. All for One is breaking his body, but if there's quirks that do not break his body, then there's a hope of it all. But you all realize is that what the bold user said, right? The power of the quirks are amplified by One for All, meaning that whatever, if there are great quirks, simple quirks, or anything else won't matter anymore. They are amplified by One for All. But Deku just got another huge responsibility. Now he does not only have to control his body, he has to control his heart. But the users of One for All believe in him. So the awesomeness is just there. I'm already looking forward to see more what exists in One for All. In a way, I'm also pretty happy that the fighting is actually continued, that this is not called off yet. However, who's gonna win? Well, now I want Class A to win, because Momo did such an unheroic thing that he doesn't deserve to win. But again, Shinso probably deserves the win as well, so yeah, can end anyway. Give me your thoughts if you have any.